A family in Swindon buys a brand new washing machine in the spring of 2023. £840, front loader, energy rated, smart features, the kind of machine that makes you feel organised just by looking at it. 14 months later, on a Tuesday morning, it stops mid-cycle, drum locked, error code on the display. The engineer arrives 4 days later, looks at the drum bearings, and tells them the repair will cost more than £300 on a machine they have barely used, on a machine still technically under an extended warranty that turns out not to cover this specific failure, buried in the small print. That is not bad luck, that is the business model. Today we're going to pull the roof off it. Over the next 20 minutes I am going to show you exactly which washing machines sold in the UK in 2026 will drain your wallet, which ones will last 15 years without a murmur, and the 3 questions you must ask before you hand over a single penny to any retailer at any price point. Before we dive in, comment where you are watching from and click subscribe. Why buying a washing machine in the UK in 2026 is not a simple decision. Buying a washing machine in Sweden is not the same calculation as buying one somewhere with a stable, consistent appliance market. We have specific problems here that directly affect which machines hold up and which ones collapse. First, water hardness. More than 60% of the UK sits in a hard or very hard water zone. Hard water is calcified mineral deposits. It attacks drum seals, blocks inlet valves, and destroys heating elements. A machine that performs perfectly on test in Germany hits the English water supply and begins degrading from the first cycle. Manufacturers know this. They do not adjust the engineering. They adjust the warranty exclusions. Second, we get rinsed on price. Post-Brexit import friction and a retail landscape consolidated around a small number of major chains means you are paying a British premium for something that frequently fails faster than it should. Third, repair availability outside London and major cities is a genuine problem. Getting a washing machine fixed in 2026 is harder, slower, and more expensive than it was in 2016. The machines have more components to fail, the engineers are fewer, the wait times are longer. Fourth, the Consumer Rights Act gives you strong-sounding protections on paper. In practice, enforcing those rights against a major manufacturer requires an engineer's report, costs money, and takes months. Most people just buy a new machine. The manufacturers know this. It is built into their warranty design. How this ranking was built? This ranking is based on 4 things. First, the which. Washing Machine Reliability Survey published in early 2026, based on 5,588 real UK owners reporting real faults over 7 years. Second, conversations with independent UK repair technicians, the people who open machines up after the warranty expires and see exactly what failed and what it costs. Third, long-term parts availability and service infrastructure. A machine that works 3 years and then becomes unserviceable is not a reliable machine. It is a 3-year machine with a premium price tag. Fourth, EU energy label and hard water performance data. No manufacturer paid for placement on this list. A couple of them would probably prefer I did not make this video at all. That is usually how you know we are doing it right. To understand what went wrong, you have to understand what right looked like. In the 1970s and into the 1980s, a washing machine was a genuinely serious piece of domestic engineering. Motors built to commercial tolerances, drums of thick stainless steel, seals so dense you could fold them and they would spring back. My grandmother's Hoover, bought in 1978, was still running in 1999. 21 years of school uniforms, towels, football kits. That machine outlasted 3 kitchen renovations. That machine is gone. 2 things happened simultaneously and ended it. The first was manufacturing relocation. Through the 1990s and accelerating through the 2000s, production moved from Germany, Italy, and the UK to Turkey, China, and Southeast Asia. The catastrophe was not the move itself. It was what did not survive the transfer. The brand name and the logo made it. The institutional engineering knowledge did not. The second force was corporate consolidation. Whirlpool now owns Hotpoint and Indesit. 2 names, 1 ownership, 1 purchase order. The badge changes, the factory architecture does not. Arçelik, a Turkish conglomerate, owns Beko and Blomberg and has acquired a significant stake in Whirlpool's European business. What looks like a choice between 7 brands on the shelf at AO is often, if you trace the ownership, 2 or 3 actual engineering decisions. The technical mechanism that catches most British buyers out is the drum bearing. Every front-loading washing machine has them. In a quality machine, the bearing housing is machined steel, the seal is compressed neoprene, and the whole assembly is over-engineered to survive 30,000 cycles. In a budget machine, the bearing housing is thin cast metal, and the seal is the minimum specification required to pass the test. When those bearings go, the machine sounds like a cement mixer. The repair quote comes back at £150 to £200, including labour, on a machine you paid £350 for 18 months ago. That is not an accident. That is engineering. Now the worst, then the best. Worst number 1, Hotpoint. Let me say something honest before I explain why Hotpoint tops this list. It is affordable, widely available, fits under a standard UK kitchen unit, and for the first 2 years it does exactly what it says on the box. The problem is what the box does not say. Hotpoint is owned by Whirlpool. Between 2014 and 2018, Whirlpool was forced by the Office for Product Safety and Standards to recall approximately 500,000 Hotpoint and Indesit washing machines, due to a door lock defect that created a fire risk. 500,000 machines, not a small batch error. A systemic design failure that affected machines already in British kitchens next to British children for years before the recall was issued. The current Hotpoint range has addressed that specific defect. The business model has not changed. At the £250 to £400 price point, a significant minority of machines develop faults within 7 years. Drum bearings on the cheaper end are not built to survive British hard water volumes. Control boards on the mid-range are proprietary enough that independent repair is extremely difficult. Parts are discontinued quickly. The repair technicians I spoke to said it simply: Hotpoint is fine until it is not. And when it is not, the repair cost relative to the machine value makes replacement the only rational option. Closing verdict: if you pay £300 for a Hotpoint, budget for a second £300 in 5 years. The real price of the machine is £600. Worst number 2, Indesit. Indesit sits inside the same Whirlpool corporate family, the same group and often the same purchase orders from many of the same suppliers. You can buy an Indesit for under £250. It is the machine people buy when they are renting, when the old machine has failed and they need something in the house by Thursday. I am not here to judge that decision, but budget machines from brands like Indesit are documented by multiple repair sources as lasting 5 to 8 years under normal British household use. Not 10, not 12, 5 to 8. A family running 4 or 5 washes a week in a hard water area is not unusual use. That is Britain. The drum spider arm, the X-shaped metal component connecting the drum to the shaft, is a known failure point on budget front loaders. When it cracks, the engineer's quote to replace the assembly often exceeds the market value of the machine. Closing verdict: Indesit will wash your clothes. For a while, it will not outlive your mortgage. Worst number 3, Samsung. Samsung makes genuinely impressive electronics. The problem is that Samsung brings a consumer electronics mentality to an engineering problem. Washing machines are not phones. They do not get better with software updates. They benefit from thick steel, robust bearings, and seals that can survive 2 decades of thermal cycling in a British utility room. Samsung's machines look remarkable in the showroom: brushed silver drums, LED displays, app connectivity, features that sound like solutions to problems you do not actually have. What the marketing does not mention is the drum bearing failure pattern, documented extensively across UK and European owner forums. Samsung's bespoke AI washing machine, retailing at close to £1,000 in the UK, has documented bearing seal failures reported within 10 months of purchase. Normal use. The bearing seal is not robust enough for the spin speeds and cycle frequencies of a family machine. Once water enters the bearing assembly, the bearings corrode, the drum grinds, and the repair requires a full drum assembly replacement that frequently exceeds the economic repair threshold. Beyond bearings, Samsung machines carry more onboard software and sensors than almost any comparable brand. More software means more failure modes. A Samsung control board failure at year 4 means a £200 to £400 part. The machine is not worth repairing. Closing verdict: it looks premium and it is priced premium. After the 3rd year it frequently stops performing premium. The technology is impressive, the longevity is not. Worst number 4, Beko. Beko the UK's #1 large home appliance brand by volume sold. Volume sold does not mean best quality, it means best price point, best distribution, and enough acceptable reviews to sustain purchase velocity, which awarded Beko Best Value Home Appliance Brand for 2024 and 2025. That is a value award, not a reliability award. The distinction matters enormously. The consistent problem with Beko in hard water conditions is the heating element. It is not built to the same specification as a Bosch or AEG. Limescale accumulation on a lower specs element accelerates failure. The element burns through, the error code appears, and the engineer quotes £80 to £150. It is often not the last repair you will need. Trustpilot reviews from 2025 and 2026 consistently document parts delays, rescheduled engineer visits, and warranty claims taking 6 to 8 weeks to resolve. 6 weeks without a washing machine is not a theoretical inconvenience for a family. It is a crisis. Closing verdict. Beko is adequate for the price. Adequate is not good enough when you have a family, hard water, and a machine that starts struggling in year 4. Worst number 5, Whirlpool branded machines. Whirlpool's own branded machines occupy the £350 to £550 bracket, a mid-range price. The drum and motor architecture is not built to the standard that price point suggests. What I want you to notice across all 5 worst entries is the pattern. The failures are not random, they cluster around the same components. Drum bearings, heating elements, control boards, spider arms. These are not separate, unrelated problems. They are the consequence of one decision made at the design stage. How much does this component need to cost for the machine to hit its target retail price? The answer, consistently, is less than it needs to cost to last 15 years. That is not an accident. That is engineering. Before we get to the best machines, I want to ask you something directly. Drop a comment now. What machine are you currently running and what went wrong first? My prediction is, a lot of you will say drum bearings or control board. I will guess a disproportionate number of you will say it happened just after the warranty expired. That is not a coincidence. That is engineering. It is worth saying out loud. Now the best. The ones that will still be running when your children are old enough to use them. Best number 1, Miele. The Miele washing machine does not try to impress you in the showroom. No LED lighting, no app notifications. It is a brushed steel front loader with a simple dial and the quiet confidence of something that does not need to perform. Miele machines are tested to the equivalent of 20 years of use before release. 5,000 wash cycles, 20,000 door openings. The 20-year claim is qualified, not guaranteed. I want to be honest about that. There are documented cases of earlier failures, but in aggregate, the Miele lifespan consistently runs 15 to 20 years. The same, which surveys that document a third of budget brands failing within 7 years place Miele at the reliable end of the spectrum by a significant margin. The catch. A mid-range Miele costs between £800 and £1,200. Repairs require a certified engineer, and those are not evenly distributed. Spare parts are available for 15 years, but not always quickly. If you're in rural Wales or northern Scotland, the service wait may test your patience. Here is the key distinction. A 10-year-old Miele with drum bearing failure is a completely different calculation to a 10-year-old hot point with the same fault. The Miele has 8 to 10 years of life remaining. The repair makes economic sense. The motor carries a 10-year warranty. This is a machine designed by engineers who had the freedom to make it right. That is increasingly rare. Verdict. If you have the budget and the intention of keeping a machine 15 years, Miele is the only rational choice. Best number 2. Bosch Series 6. Bosch is where I direct most British families. The Series 6 sits in the £450 to £650 bracket. The EcoSilence drive motor comes with a 10-year warranty directly from Bosch. That is not a marketing statement. That is a contractual commitment. In 2025, Mumsnet's appliance survey named Bosch the most recommended washing machine brand among their users. A family of 5 running 3 or more washes per week since 2018, still praising the machine is meaningful real-world data. One caveat: Bosch has shifted manufacturing from Germany over the past decade, and some long-term owners note a decline in build quality compared to 15 years ago. The machines are still significantly better than the budget field. But buy the Series 6 or Series 8, not the Series 2. The lower the series number, the thinner the specification. Verdict: Bosch Series 6 or above is the reliable mid-range choice for most British households. The 10-year motor warranty is the proof point. Best number 3, AEG. AEG sits within the same BSH group as Bosch and Siemens, sharing European engineering heritage. Where Bosch is the workhorse, AEG focuses on fabric care. Their ProSense technology weighs the load and adjusts water level and cycle time, which directly reduces mechanical stress on the machine over its lifetime. Less water means less corrosion. Calibrated spin cycles mean less bearing strain. In hard water areas with multiple daily washes, the reduced water usage also slows limescale accumulation on the heating element. AEG machines in the 500 to 800 pound bracket consistently score near the top of which independent tests, with build quality on the drum seal and bearing housing closer to the premium tier than the price suggests. Verdict: AEG is the hidden choice. Less talked about than Miele or Bosch, often better value than either per pound spent. Best number 4, LG with a direct drive motor. LG's direct drive motor eliminates the belt between the motor and the drum. That belt is a consumable. It wears, it snaps, and it requires replacement. Direct drive removes that failure point entirely. The motor mounts directly to the drum. LG backs this with a 20-year motor warranty. The drum bearings are correspondingly more robust because they are not managing the lateral load of a belt drive system. The caveat is control board complexity. LG machines are smart machines. Smart machines fail in smart ways. An LG control board replacement runs £400 or more. If you are buying LG, verify you are getting the direct drive motor variant. Ask before you pay. Verdict: LG direct drive is a genuine 15-year machine on the right model. Direct drive only. 3 rules. Write them down. Rule 1. Check the motor warranty before you check anything else. A 10-year motor warranty means the manufacturer believes their machine will survive 10 years. A 2-year warranty is the same statement in a different language. Miele, Bosch, Series 6 and above, and LG Direct Drive all carry meaningful motor warranties. Hotpoint, Indesit and Beko often do not. Find any motor warranty in their terms and conditions, if it exists at all. Rule 2. Go to which.co.uk and check the reliability rating for the brand before you buy. The difference between the best and worst brand in their 2026 data is a fault rate 6 times higher. 6 times. On machines sitting within £200 of each other on the same Currys shelf. That information is free. Use it. Rule 3. If you're in a hard water area, which covers most of England south and east of Manchester, budget £40 to £80 for an inline lime scale inhibitor on the machine supply. This single step extends the life of the heating element and drum seal by several years, regardless of which brand you buy. It is the cheapest insurance available on any washing machine. The buy it once maths. Option 1, you buy a budget machine for £300. Brands like Indesit, Hotpoint and entry-level Beko. It runs 5 to 6 years before a fault appears. The repair quote is £150 to £200. You buy a new machine, another £300. By year 12, you have spent £600 to £700, made at least one failed repair attempt, and run an increasingly inefficient machine for a decade. Option 2. You buy a Bosch Series 6 for £550. The motor warranty runs 10 years. The machine runs 12 to 14 years under average British conditions with basic maintenance. By year 12, you have spent £550 plus perhaps one service visit. Total, £650. The £300 machine costs more over 12 years. Not less. More. The sticker price is not the cost. The total cost of ownership is the number that matters. Nobody puts that on the tag at Currys. The bottom line. The washing machine market in the United Kingdom in 2026 has one basic problem. The companies making the most money are making machines designed to fail at a rate that benefits their replacement revenue. You stay in the cycle, they win. Spending £300 more upfront on a Bosch or an AEG instead of a Hotpoint or a Beko is very possibly the best £300 you will spend on a household appliance this decade. The failure points are not accidents. They were decided in a spreadsheet before the machine was ever designed. The only way to exit that cycle is to know which machines are in it and which ones are not. You know now. If this video saved you from a costly mistake, subscribe so you never miss one. Share it with anyone about to replace a machine. That is all.